a church that, if you like, has a choice to make about how it responds to that persecution. Clearly, there are many places in the world where it's very dangerous to be a Christian. And our brothers and sisters from Iran will speak very much more than I can about that. But it's also, in a sense, the same choice that we face as we approach situations like the coronavirus. Because, as Fran said, it's not something that we can control. It's not something we're in charge of. It's a reminder of where we are in the scale of the universe. We think we're doing so well with all our technology and everything else, and then something like this comes around, and it reminds us that despite appearances, we have very little choice about what happens to us in life. There are things that we can do, and the letter to the of Revelation reminds us about that. So, if you're facing persecution, you've basically got one or two choices. You either face it head on and fight back, or you trust that God will deal with it, even if that means that you're persecuted, that you lose your life in that persecution. And there are plenty of examples where Christians and other religions have chosen to fight back. But I would argue that the letter of Revelation is telling you something very different. It's telling you that despite appearances, there is a God who is in charge and in control. And the wise thing to do, the sensible thing to do, the Christian thing to do, is to trust that God will deal with things, and not to try and take things into your own hands. That's not to say that there aren't things we can do in response to persecution, to things like the coronavirus. We've talked about some of the common sense things that we can and should do. But at the end of the day, it's where